talked to McGahn about it, and as a result, she now has to file her own Form 278, as it's called, and so she is legally bound now by the ethics rules in the White House.
So Ambassador Eisen, I mean, as Gloria just said, the letter you sent to the White House influenced this decision reportedly. Are you satisfied with the steps they've taken here? I mean, what does that mean that she'll have to follow all the rules of a federal employee? Is she still going to be involved with her company? I mean, do we know the details on this?
Thanks for having me, Anderson. We do know that she will, like her father, maintain ownership interest in her company, although she's stepped away from day-to-day management. Anderson, I do appreciate that Ms. Trump has responded to the letter by admitting that no American is above the law, not even the daughter of a president. So you shouldn't have to litigate that issue in order to have a concession that the law applies to you. We're a government of laws, not of people. That's the fundamental idea of the United States. What disappoints me is that this step leaves so much else undone in this White House. There is an ethics crisis in the White House, and it starts at the top with the president, who claims that the law does not apply to him, even the Constitution, which prohibits many of the foreign government benefits he's getting, for example. So until the president gets it right, the White House is not going to get it right. And we do have, despite this positive step, a White House in ethics crisis. No wonder they're under investigation for the Russia affair.
And Master Eisen, I mean, you're a former White House ethics czar. So in terms of the nepotism statute, does it not apply here, in your opinion? Because the White House clearly seems to think it doesn't.
Well, the question of whether or not Ivanka was an employee was a clear one, Anderson. She was, and I'm glad they've conceded it. My view, and it's a bipartisan view, Professor Painter, the Bush ethics czar, agrees with me, is that the nepotism statute does apply. In both the Bush and Obama administration for decades, the Justice Department held, yes, the nepotism statute does apply to the White House office. Now, it's a murky area. Reasonable minds can disagree. President Trump got an opinion from the Justice Department that the nepotism statute doesn't apply to his White House. Yeah. We disagree with that opinion, but we recognize that reasonable minds can disagree.
Jeff, obviously, I mean, you know, there's a lot of ways to look at this. One, the president should have the people around him who he wants to have, who he feels comfortable getting advice from. Do you have any concerns, though, that, you know, you now have two of the most powerful positions in the White House are now filled with relatives of the president? People have a direct line to him in a way that maybe other people in the White House don't. I mean, would you want to work in that office environment?
Anderson, none, and I'll tell you why. I've checked on this. 10 presidents of the United States have had family members as senior aides, cabinet members, or they position them as senior aides to other members of the administration. And that includes John F. Kennedy, Abraham Lincoln, Andrew Jackson. I mean, Franklin Roosevelt, you can go on here. It began with John Adams. So
but
this has been going
times.
on for a very long time.
With security clearance?
Anderson, none since the anti-nepotism was passed after RFK, and it was called the Bobby Kennedy statute because there were such profound concerns, and this situation raises those same concerns when we have the most critical questions of domestic and international security. Do we really want people whose first loyalty is to Donald Trump as a father or a father-in-law, or do we want ones whose first loyalty is to the country?
We got to take a quick break. I'm sorry,
we got to take a quick break. Related or not, have been in every single White House.
All right, just ahead.